Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 2nd of September 1975, and the title is Only Those Who Are Seated on the Heart Throne Can Claim a Right to the Golden Aged Kingdom of the World. Do all of you children consider yourselves to be seated on the Trimurti throne? Today's gathering is of those who are seated on the Trimurti throne. Do you know your Trimurti throne? One is the throne of the forehead of the soul, which is the immortal image. The second is the throne of the world. And the third is the most elevated heart throne of the Father. Do you experience yourselves to be seated on all three thrones, or do you only know about them? Are you just an embodiment of knowledge, or are you also an embodiment of experience? I, the elevated soul, have been seated on these thrones many times. Do you experience the awareness of many times so clearly and easily as true it is of the present time? Not that it is a matter of some time ago, but of the present time. Only those who have this experience are extremely loved and are extremely close to Bapdada. The basis of all these thrones is to be seated on Bapdada's heart throne. Do you know what the main method is for this? It is an easy method. What is this method? Those who are themselves seated on the heart throne know very well which children are loved the most by Bapdada. What do the people of the world know about the Father, about God? That God is truth. They consider the truth to be God. Bapdada relates to you the story of the true Narayan, and he establishes the land of truth. So since the Father plays the practical part of being the true Father, the true teacher, and the true Guru, what would he love the most? Honestly, whenever there is honesty, that is, whenever there is truth as well as an honesty, there will definitely also be cleanliness there. It is also remembered, the Lord is pleased with an honest heart. Those who are seated on the heart throne are definitely serviceable, but the sign of those who are serviceable is that they would have honesty and cleanliness in their relationships and connections. It would be visible in their every thought and word. That is, every thought of such an elevated soul seated on the heart throne would be truthful. Their every word would be true. True means it would be filled with truth, and true means it would be successful. That is, any thought or word would not be ordinary or wasteful. They would be so serviceable that in their every step, at every moment in their vision, they would only see altruistic service for all souls. While asleep, they would be thinking of service, and while awake and as they move around, they would be doing service. Even in their dreams, they would not have anything apart from service. Only such serviceable souls who are unshakable and tireless would be able to be seated on Bapdada's heart throne. Do you now understand what the sign is? It is guaranteed for such souls who are seated on the heart throne to claim the throne of the kingdom of the world. Just as you have to book a seat in advance, in the same way, the throne of the kingdom is fixed for kalpa after kalpa. There could never be any thought as to whether the children who make the elements subservient to them and who become victorious would claim a right to the kingdom of the world or not. The elements are constantly before and behind you to serve you. Their victorious masters as your servants, they constantly salute you. At every moment, a servant would be in front of an elevated soul as his server. Are you able to see this elevated form of yours? At the moment, the elements are waiting for you in order to serve their masters. Even the oceans and the land are making themselves complete in order to serve the masters of the world. You are seeing their preparations, are you not? The devotees are invoking you with great force while worshipping gods, goddesses, and Shaktis in the form of saligrams. They even renounce their most loved sleep and cry out loud while invoking you, wondering when their special deities, the bestowers of blessings, the great donor souls, will hear them. They wonder when their lack of attainment will be fulfilled. In the same way, because the time is now so close, together with the devotees, even the elements are now invoking you and wondering when their Satopradhan masters will be pleased with them. As soon as you begin to rule, the elements will adopt their Satopradhan costume. Are you able to see and hear the elements and the devotees invoking you? Together with those two invoking you, from the other side, Bapdada is also invoking you to become equal and perfect and become an angel, a resident of the subtle region, and return home with the Father. Do you wish to return, or are you enjoying the confluence age much more? Have you become ever ready? Do you constantly remain stable in fulfilling this promise? Wherever you place me, whichever role you place me in, and for however long you keep me there, that you will do. In how much time will the spiritual military receive the last order? It will be an order of just 1 second. You will not be given a warning an hour in advance. And this is why only 8 jewels emerge. You will not be given your paper after the date has been fixed for it. That is, whatever the date fixed within the drama is, you will not be told about that fixed date or that moment in advance. You will just be given an approximation. However, the last paper will be of just one question and 1 second. This is why children have to be ever ready. At every moment, check whether you have become complete in having both the power to pack up and the power to face. You need to have the practice over a long period of time of using the practical power to pack up. Do not start to pack up at the last moment. Otherwise, your time would finish in just packing up. The task of packing up should then have been completed. Only then will you be able to fulfill the promise you have made, having one strength and one support, constantly eating with you, sitting with you, speaking to you and listening to you. It shouldn't be that for 8 hours you speak and listen to him, and then for the rest of the time you spend in listening to souls. Your promise is of all the time, so do not try to be clever in this. As a lawyer, do not put in front of Baba the points that Baba has given you. At Amrit Vela, many come to Baba as lawyers. You will not be able to practice being a lawyer in the golden age. Therefore, do not cause so much mischief in front of Bab Dada. Instead of being a lawyer, be a judge. But a judge of what? Be your own judge, not of someone else. Having seen the unique games of the children at Amrit Vela, Bab Dada remains amused throughout the day. The pose and position of each one at that time is worth taking a picture of. You use the weapons given to you by the Father against the Father. You said this, Gyan says this, Baba just smiles and continues to observe your games. Instead of being warriors, become victorious. For only then will you be able to sit on the Trimurti throne. Do you understand? Acha, to such victorious souls who constantly fulfill their promise, to the extremely loved souls who are close to Bab Dada, to the ones who make the elements their servant and also fulfill the desires of all souls, to such elevated souls, Bab Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Blessing. May you constantly be loving and detached with the constant awareness of your original land and your original form, the awareness of the incorporeal world and the incorporeal form constantly makes you loving and detached. I am a resident of the incorporeal world and have incarnated here for the sake of service. I do not belong to this land of death, but am just an incarnation here. If you just remembered this one small aspect, you would be able to remain beyond. The carriage of those who do not consider themselves to be an incarnation, but instead consider themselves to be householders, remains stuck in the mud. To be a householder means to have a stage that is a burden, whereas an incarnation is absolutely light. By considering yourself to be an incarnation, you will be able to remember your original world and your original form and be able to remain beyond. Slogan: a Brahmin is one who does everything according to the right method with great cleanliness. Om Shanti. Good wishes for the Diwali and the New Year. News in essence of Dadiji's tour of the foreign countries. To the most loving souls who are constantly engaged in the service of bringing about world benefit, to those who would hoist Baba's flag in the world, to all the Brahmins who are the decorations of the Brahmin clan and who belong to most beloved Bab Dada, the mother and father, to the queens of light, Deep Rani, who belong to the king of light, Deep Raj, to the constantly lit living Deepaks, together with sweet love-filled remembrance, also accept hearty greetings from Madhuban, the land of blessings. This lovely festival has its own unique significance in the history of the Yagya because it was at this time that the Yagya was founded and the original jewels took a new birth and totally surrendered themselves in order to do world service. We constantly give greetings to Bap Dada and the Dadis again and again for this alokik birthday, while experiencing happiness and singing praise of our fortune because everyone continues to receive the canopy of protection and divine sustenance through their love. Tell me, while constantly experiencing such happiness, you are all constantly flying as the wandering yogis with wings of zeal and enthusiasm. Are you not? I am sure all of you must be very eager to hear the news of the tour of the foreign countries of our Dadiji, who is the Dadi of the whole world, an image equal to Bap Dada and her two holy swan companions, Mohini Ben and Ishu Ben. Beloved Bap Dada decorated this Trimurti with blessings and suddenly sent them across the 7 seas to visit 10 countries abroad. While there was no end to the happiness, zeal, and enthusiasm of the Brahmin family, since this was the first visit this kalpa by Dadiji to some of the countries. This special Trimurti was welcomed with great splendor. Many classes were given by Dadiji, many public programs held, and many meetings with VIP souls took place throughout the tour. In some countries, Dadiji was able to share Baba's divine message during a personal meeting with the president or prime minister there. Dadiji was interviewed by journalists as well as by TV and radio presenters, and the main question asked by everyone was how Dadiji managed to remain so very light while being the head of so many centers. Another question put to Dadi was, what would be the qualities of an elevated leader? What aspects do you pay attention to while being a leader? While sharing her experience with them in a simple words, Dadiji drew everyone's attention towards Sweet Baba and gave them his introduction in this way. Brahmins also had very entertaining questions. Dadiji, what one type of service should we do through which the Kumbhkarans of Bharat can be awakened and glorification can take place? When will Sri Krishna take birth? How much time do we still need? Will we be able to see Sri Krishna with these eyes? When will destruction take place? What will our role be at that time? These were some of the questions from the Brahmins, and of course, Dadiji satisfied everyone with her answers based on Bap Dada's versions and her own experience, and at the same time gave inspiration and new enthusiasm to everyone. Within this 28-day tour, they met thousands of souls. The furthest away, Chile and Argentina, were totally absorbed in bliss in having Dadi there with them personally. While sharing the specialties of each place, Dadiji, Ishuben, and Mohini-ben again and again related how everyone just has one Baba in their heart. No matter where they may be living or what they may be doing, how Baba selected souls from all corners of the world, even though they are from different countries with different languages and have been brought up with different cultures, how Baba stamped the heart of each one with love. This was a scene to be witnessed. Day and night, they just have the one concern of doing Baba's service, glorifying Baba, and going to Madhuban to meet Baba. Even while being so far away, they constantly have the experience of Baba being with them, with Madhuban, and the family being close to them. Having witnessed such beautiful scenes, they all arrived in Bombay on the 16th of October. On the 17th, there were welcoming programs and Snehmilans with VIPs. In the evening, they arrived in Ahmedabad. On the 18th, having stopped in between at different centers, they arrived at Sangam Bhavan at Abu Road and then Talheti. Of course, everyone was eagerly awaiting Dadiji's arrival. A stage had been prepared, beautifully decorated with peacock feathers, where a welcome took place again. At 7 p.m. in the evening, Dadiji arrived in Madhuban. The whole of Om Shanti Bhavan was colorfully decorated with flowers and fairy lights, flags hoisted everywhere. It was as though that day was the festival of Diwali, an image of a heart in the middle of the ocean, with two swans with pearls in their beaks, had been beautifully created on stage. The welcome programs here in Madhuban was no less. Dances, poetry, music, in fact, anything you could think of. Dadiji shared some of the experiences in essence. And then, on the 19th, there was another welcome program in which Mohini Ben and Ishu Ben also shared their experiences of service in the foreign lands. Acha, lots and lots of love and remembrances to everyone from Madhuban. Om Shanti.